Hello, lads and lasses. Hey, if you like today's lesson, then please cut your hair very short and shave the words I heart art into your head, as this would really help spread the good word about my class. Okay, everybody, we're going to continue working on our perspective drawing that has the word. And today I'm going to show you guys how to draw the Scqojug letters. That is Scqojug. And the reason why I grouped them together is all of them have curved lines in them. So they have curves at the bottom or at the top. All right, we're going to start with the letter C. So let's start with two vertical lines. And then I'm going to draw a little mark at the top in the middle of this part right here and in the middle of this line right here. And I'm going to make a curve that comes out of this line, hits that mark, and then slowly comes out and into this line right here. I'll do the same thing down at the bottom. I'm going to make a curve that comes out of this line, goes into this line, hits that mark, comes out of this line and into that line. I put a couple of points right here and right here. And then I follow the curve around so that this curve right there is hopefully parallel to that curve. And then this curve is hopefully parallel to that curve. Same thing down here. I make a happy line here. Make a happy line here. And then once I see my C, I can erase all the other lines. I'm going to make a happy line up here. Now this line up here, I'm going to align the ruler with the happy face. And right where it touches the top of the C right here, that's where my happy line is going to be. And I'm going to do a happy line here and here on these two corners. I'm going to follow that curve around. So I'm going to copy this curve right here and I'm going to draw it here. And then where this curve meets this line, I'm going to draw a happy line here. Then I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to line up my ruler on the happy face, and where it touches the bottom of the C, that's where I'm going to draw a happy line. This corner and that corner also get happy lines. I'm going to follow the curve around here. So this curve and this curve will be the same. And then where it touches this line, I'm going to draw a happy line. And then on the inside here, I'm just going to follow the curve around. All right, and that is how you draw a C. So let's draw a G now. We're going to start a G with two vertical lines. I'll do the same thing as with the C. I make a little mark at the top here, a little mark at the top, at the bottom down here. And then I follow the curve around. Follow the curve. And I'll do the same thing at the bottom. I will follow the curve. Now, when you follow these curves, remember you go out of the line and into the line, hit that mark, come out of the line and go into that line. Here I go out of the line and into this line, hit the mark, and come out of the line and go into this line. This is where the inside curves are going to be, and I copy the curve on the inside to match what it's doing on the outside. And here I'm copying the curve on the inside to match what it's doing on the outside. Make a happy line there. And then once I see, all right, I'm going to darken all of this up and darken all of this up and erase everything that is not the G. Then I'm going to make 3 happy lines, one at the top here, one at this corner, and one at this corner. Now this one right here, I'm going to line up my ruler with the top of the G and the happy face. So when my happy face lines up with the ruler, and then it's wherever my ruler touches the top of the G. And then I'm going to follow that curve around. And where it touches, where I have this corner right here, is where I'm going to make a happy line. All right, I erase it up, clean it up. I'm going to draw a vertical line here. And I'm going to line that up with the happy face, and I'm going to make a happy line here and a happy line there. And then I'm going to do 2 happy lines, a little happy line here, a little happy line there. And then I'm going to follow the curve around. So this is parallel to this right here. And then on the inside, I'm just going to follow the curve around. And there I have a G in 2-point perspective. All right, now we're going to do the J. The J starts with 2 vertical lines. Then I'm going to make a mark down at the bottom here. And it's right in the center. Then I'm going to make a curve. So this curve is going to come out of this line, go into this line, hit that mark, come out of this line and into that line. And then I make a dot right here, and that will help me draw the inside of this. This curve right here matches the outside curve. All right, I'm going to darken up this area right here. And I'm going to erase this area right here and draw a happy line here. I'm going to erase everything that is not the letter J. Then I'm going to make 2 happy lines, one from this corner, and then I'm going to line up the ruler with the happy face, and where it touches the bottom of the J, I'm going to make a happy line down there. And then I'm going to follow the curve around. And then I'm going to make 2 little happy lines right here and here. Then I'm going to make a happy line right here going to the opposite happy face. And then on the inside, where at this corner, I'm going to just follow the curve around. And that is how you do a J in 2-point perspective. All right, next we're going to do the letter O. O starts with 2 vertical lines. Then I'm going to make a mark at the top in the middle and at the bottom in the middle. Then I'm going to draw a I'm going to draw a curved line that comes out of this line and into that one, hits the mark, comes out of this line and into that one. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to draw a line that comes out of this line into this one, hits the mark, comes out of that line, and comes into this one. And then I make 2 little dots there, and I'm going to follow the curve on the inside. And then I'm going to darken up my O and erase everything else. Then I'm going to draw 2 happy lines. I'm going to line up my ruler on the happy face, and where it touches the top of the O, that's where I'm going to draw my happy line. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to line up the ruler on the happy face, and where it touches the bottom, that is where I'm going to draw my happy line. And then I'm going to follow the curve around on the outside. And then I follow the curve on the inside. And that is how you do the letter O. The letter Q starts with 2 vertical lines. Make a mark here at the top in the middle and a mark down here at the bottom in the middle. This is going to be a curve that comes out of this line and into that one and hits the mark, comes out of that line and into this one. And at the bottom, we do the same thing. The curve comes out of this line and into that one, hits the mark, comes out of this line and into that one. I made 2 points to mimic the curve on the inside. Hopefully this curve right here will be exactly the same as the one on the outside, and this curve will be exactly the same as the one on the outside. And then once you see your O, darken it up. And then I am going to draw a little happy line close to the middle. And I'm going to draw 2 diagonal lines from the outside of this line to the corner and from the other side of this line down here. It's going to be a parallel line. Once you see your Q, erase everything else. Then I'm going to make 3 happy lines. I'm going to line up the ruler with the happy face, and where it touches the top of the Q, I'm going to draw a happy line. From this corner, I'm going to draw a happy line. And from this corner, I'm going to draw a happy line. And then I'm going to follow the curve around. And then I'm going to make a parallel line here to this one, parallel. On the inside, I'm going to follow the curve around. And then from this corner and this corner, I drew two happy lines right there. But they're so close to the horizon, I just made them horizontal. And that is the Q in perspective. Right, the S starts with two vertical lines. I made a mark at the top in the middle, and I made a mark at the bottom in the middle. Then I drew a curve that comes out of this line and goes into this one, hits the mark, and comes out of this line and goes into this one. I did the same thing at the bottom. The curve comes out of this line and into this one, hits the mark, comes out of this line and into that one. I made 2 points or 2 dots, and then I'm going to copy the curve on the inside. Then I made a happy line up here. And I made a happy line down here. And I'm going to connect this line with this one. And it's going to be an S-shaped curve or a snaky curve. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to connect this line with this one over here, and it's going to be an S-shaped curve. So it curves out, kind of goes a little straight, and then it curves back in. All right, and once you see your S, I want you to erase everything else. Then I made 3 happy lines. So I lined up my ruler with the happy face, and where it touched the top of the S, I made a happy line. And then we did a happy line at this corner and a happy line at that corner. And then I follow the curve around here. And where it touched here, I drew a happy line. Then I drew 2 happy lines at this corner, these 2 corners down here. And then I drew a happy line going to the opposite happy face there. And then I copied the curve around here. Then I drew a happy line here. So what I did is I aligned the ruler with the happy face and the bottom of the S. And then I copied the curve around. There I have an S in 2-point perspective. The letter U starts off with 2 vertical lines. Then I made a mark at the bottom only. Then I made a curve that comes out of this line and into this one, hits the mark, comes out of this line and into that one. And then I copied the curve on the inside. Once you see your U, erase everything else. Then I made 2 happy lines. So I aligned the ruler up with the happy face and this corner and made a little happy line here, and I aligned the ruler up with this, with the happy face, and where it touched the bottom of the U, that's where I made my happy line. And then I just copied the curve around. Then on the inside of the U, I made a happy line at the top corner, right there. And then I followed the curve around, a straight line down, and then followed the curve. And that is the letter U in 2-point perspective. All right, that's it for today. And until next time, be a little art factory.